What's going on, everybody? This is episode 746 of the First and Frame Rate Show. I am VF Baller. Over here, we talk about Georgia Southern and Atlanta Falcons football. Back to Atlanta Falcons, because I'm trying to figure out what the Falcons are doing. What are they going to do? Second interview for Jim Harbaugh. Now they're saying, like, they're all in on Bill Belichick. Like, what are they doing? Are they just dotting their I's and crossing their T's? I'm really interested to see about this because right now I have no idea. And I mean, it's a good thing that we don't know because it's good to like not really figure out what the Falcons are doing right now because of they're doing a due diligence. But what are they doing? Are they it just calls for a good conversation. Are they going in on Bill Belichick? Are they trying to see if they can pull Jim Harbaugh in? Is Jim Harbaugh really interested because he is actually accepting the second interview? That doesn't mean that he's going in for the Chargers. So, and then there's other candidates that they're still going to, interview. So it's going to be really interesting. I'm going to just give you my thoughts and opinions on all that. So if this is your first time here, welcome. I can be found on all the, platforms for podcasts, also on YouTube and Rumble. YouTube podcast is now up and running. Just go to YouTube, the First and Frame Rates, and go to the podcast tab, and you'll find the episode here. If you want to watch the visual version of the podcast, it will be on Rumble, and all the audio ones will be on the platforms for podcasts. I can also be followed on X at VF Baller. The website is firstandframerates.com. And if you want to donate and support the show, CashApp and PayPal links are below. Let's get into this. The Falcons claim, or there's reports saying that they have genuine interest in Jim Harbaugh. Now, when I think about these two coaches, I would like to have Jim Harbaugh over Bill Belichick. Bill Belichick is clearly the more decorated coach, and I think that you will probably, knowing with his IQ, I don't know. I mean, what he knows, not based on what he's done recently. I feel like you may have a quicker chance to get to the Super Bowl. You may. Now, Jim Harbaugh is another one that is pretty good. He hasn't won the big game, but he's been to three NFC championships. Actually, was in the Super Bowl. And I think he can take this team to the promised land just as much as Bill Belichick can at this moment. I think with Jim Harbaugh, you have a longer lifespan with him as the coach. I think Bill Belichick is probably going to do like maybe 2 or 3 years, and I mean that should be enough for him to get us to a Super Bowl. When you talk about longevity of the franchise, you want a coach here that's going to be here for a while. I mean, look at some of the coaches or some of the teams that has the most success. It's usually one or two or both of the same thing. Is either you have the coach that's here for a long time, the quarterback's here for a long time, or you have the coach and the quarterback here for a long time, and I think you have a longer situation at hand if you get Jim Harbaugh. Now at Belichick, as much as I don't want to pick him as a coach, I have to acknowledge, I have to understand that you are in a good chance to win the Super Bowl. He's been there. He's been there various times. He's won 6 of them. He actually won one as a defensive coordinator. He knows what he's doing. There's no doubt about that. So with that being said, you're going to have the experience. You're going to have the knowledge. You're going to have the coach that can get it done. The thing is, does he still have that pedigree? Does he still have that acumen? Does he still have the drive to do so? Because, I mean, he's a little bit, he's like, 10, 12 years older than Harbaugh. And maybe you check out a little bit easier once you've been, through this for a while. I mean, I just don't know. I mean, I think the risk is a little bit higher, but the reward is closer when you have Harbaugh. When you have Bill Belichick. When you have Harbaugh, you're just going to have, I think it's more of a low risk, and the reward is high, but it's not as high as Bill Belichick. I mean, that's why I try to figure out what the Falcons are doing. Is this something that they're going to be, really in on when it comes to these two coaches? What about the other guys? Because they have a lot of other guys that they want to interview as well. Mainly the guys, some guys that are on the Ravens staff. I know now with Slovic not being in the playoffs anymore, they're probably going to bring him in for an interview as well. Then you have Ejiro Evero. I think I said that right. Ejiro Evero. If I said his name wrong, please forgive me. He's coming in for a second interview as well. And I didn't even talk about him. He's like an under the radar type of, under the radar type of guy that people are talking about. It's just, to me, I feel like not knowing the unknown is a little nerve wracking, but it's a good thing because now you can tell that the Falcons are actually trying to do their due diligence and get somebody in here that's going to be somebody for the long run. And that's what you want. Even if Belichick is going to be here for a couple of years, I'm almost certain that he's going to have somebody in mind that will take over once he leaves. Kind of similar to what he did with the Patriots. Gerard Mayo was there at the Patriots now because of the situation he has with the what he had with Belichick. Now, will that fly with the Falcons? Once Belichick is gone after 3 years, maybe he wins a Super Bowl, he pulls a Tom Brady and win a Super Bowl once he gets to the team. And does that, who's going to be next in line? That Belichick tree is, I'm not saying it is about done. I don't know how long it reaches, but you see the McDaniels, the Bill O'Briens, you see that branch that's out there. And most of the guys have done okay. For every, I don't know. You turn around, you have a Charlie Weiss and it's Romeo Cornell, and you be like, all right, what are we doing here? I don't know. It's just, where do we go from here after that? What if it don't work out? And I can talk about that before we get out of here. What if it don't work out in these 3 years to be, just slightly better? And when I say slightly better, it's like, okay, you win the division and get to the playoffs, but go nowhere. Where do you go from there? Is that a success? Either one of these coaches, what happens? With Belichick, it's like, all right, you've done this for 2 or 3 years. Excuse me. At the age of 75, 76, he's be ready to go. Be like, all right, so what do we have left after that? Are we gonna pull somebody from his staff to be the coach? Okay, what about Jim Harbaugh? What if it don't work out there? He'll probably be here for the next 6 or 7 years, and that's one hell of a run for a coach nowadays. And you just don't want to be on that treadmill. 2 or 3 years, and you find somebody 6 or 7 years, you didn't get it done. You don't want to be on that treadmill. I think this team has been trying to get to the Super Bowl. We had trying to get to we had a taste of the Super Bowl ever since 1998. And really back in 2016, where it was so close and you just didn't get it done. This city, the city of Atlanta is begging for a championship in the football realm. We saw it in baseball. That felt good. Atlanta United, they won the championship. The Hawks ain't won one in a long time, but they know the others like to have one in the rafters. Falcons ain't got nothing. You know what I'm saying? Falcons got a couple of NFC championship games and some division titles, but there's no world championships in that building. And so it's like the team is really yearning for a title. And I think that's one of the reasons why Arthur Blank is, he's really looking at Bill Belichick like, look, my man, what can you do for me? And I get it. It's not it's not that big of an equation to figure out that you see what's going on. But I've always stood on the side of like, oh, man, not him. You know what I'm saying? He was the one that he took the Super Bowl from us. But a lot of people told me I need to get over myself. I don't know what I'm talking about, this, that, and the third. And I'm like, yeah, I know, but why? Why that guy? You know what I mean? It's just something I've been thinking about for a long time. And it's like, man, it's gotten to the point where I've just got to bite the bullet. It is what it is. Whatever the brass in the front office go along with, I'll go along with it. I won't agree with it, but it's cool. But if Belichick's a coach, cool. If Harbaugh's a coach, I'm going to be excited for various reasons. For one, I think he's a better fit, to be honest. I think he'll do well with, he'll pick a younger quarterback and make things happen for the next 4 or 5 years. And my wife likes Jim Harbaugh. It's one of her favorite, it is her favorite coach all the way back from the San Francisco days. She's been following him while he was at Michigan, and now for him to be possibly a coach here in Atlanta, maybe I'll get my wife to come to a couple football games now. I have some type of incentive for this, But nevertheless, either way, either way it'd be cool. I think it'd be all right. I mean, I'm not for it, but it'd be cool. But I need to figure out what the Falcons are doing. I mean, this week coming up is going to be very telling. We'll have a couple of second interviews with a lot of cats. First interviews with some cats. People say they're eyeing on Belichick, and yeah, that may be true, but it doesn't look like it because of the second interviews. Maybe they want to make sure what they're doing because they don't want to be in a situation where they were like the last couple times. Dan Quinn, Coach Arthur Smith, Coach Dan Quinn. You kind of see what you got there. I mean, it was cool. You almost won a Super Bowl with Dan Quinn. Should have won a Super Bowl with Dan Quinn, and with Arthur Smith, you couldn't get yourself off the mat. It's just we've been on the mat since 2016, 2017, and we just have not been able to do anything after that. And I think it all starts with the coach. What you're going to do with the personnel that we have, and what are you going to do to get over the hump so these Falcons fans can feel like we're winners, in the highest way possible, because we've been wanting it for decades, and it just to hold a Lombardi Trophy up, for some fans, even if it's with Bill Belichick, they'll take it. I'll be sitting in the background like, congratulations. I won't be too excited because it's that guy, but the Falcons fan base overall, they need it. We deserve it. All the things we've been through, it'll feel great either way. But I'm going to get up out of here. If you like this commentary, hit the like button, share this podcast, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Let me know what you guys think. Harbaugh or you like Belichick? What are the Falcons doing? Are they going to pick somebody out of left field that none of these guys are really going for? I mean, what do you guys think? I can be found on YouTube and Rumble. Also on Anchor, Spotify, Apple, and Google Podcasts. I think I'm still on there. Yeah, Google Podcasts until March 2024. Beginning of April, they're going to shut it down. And I can be found on X at VF Baller. The website's firstandfriendraise.com. And if you want to support the show, Cash App and PayPal links are below. All right, y'all. I'm going to get up out of here. Enjoy your Monday. Hopefully you have a great week. Just keep grinding and keep pushing. No matter what happens, you'll get there. All right, y'all, I'm out. Y'all take it easy, and y'all be blessed. Peace.